Thank you very much for coming to Hawaii.
I enjoyed my visit, but it was much too short.
Oh, well, you're welcome anytime.
Thank you.
Hawaii has had a number of disasters in 2018, so I did want to go over some of these disasters and how SBA has been very helpful. So we had disasters including severe storms, floods, mudslides, volcanic eruptions, earthquakes, and hurricanes. And these disasters displaced homeowners, disrupted businesses, and had an enormous impact on individuals and families in our communities, as well as state and local resources. And even today, people in my state are still working to recover from these disasters. And when you last appeared before the committee in 2018 in May, we had the opportunity to discuss the record rainfall that flooded Kauai. In fact, it was the most rainfall that had fallen anywhere in the United States in the history of the United States.
Wow.
And Oahu communities. And since that time, Hawaii has experienced other natural disasters, including, of course, the volcanic eruptions on the Big Island. So to date, roughly 500 disaster survivors in Hawaii, including business owners, individuals, and families, and homeowners have received more than $48 million in disaster assistance from the SBA, primarily through the SBA's low-interest disaster loan programs. And with this assistance, businesses have been given access to SBA resources that will help them rebuild, including, of course, replacing damaged machinery, equipment, inventory that may have been affected by these disasters. And furthermore, homeowners, I think there were something like 2,000 homeowners who were displaced because of the volcanic eruption. And they have been given access to resources that will help them rebuild by allowing them to repair their homes, refinance mortgages, and make improvements to better prepare for future disasters. So needless to say that SBA has been right there. And at one point, we were having all of these natural disasters on a recurring basis. And when I was on the Big Island, there were dozens of federal people, including, of course, the state and county people and SBA there. They were there for months at a time, as it turned out. And yesterday afternoon, I had a chance to meet with local directors from Hawaii's Small Business Development Center. And they, as you know, provide businesses counseling services, and they have many examples of how they hands-on help entrepreneurs to succeed, including, I think you mentioned, money management and how to use computers to keep track as opposed to handwriting, their receipts and all of that. So that's really important. They reiterated the challenges that businesses in the state faced last year related to these disasters, and of course, we're really appreciative of SBA's coordinated efforts. So as an island state, when disaster strikes, we are particularly vulnerable. So I want to continue to work with you. And now I have some questions, a few questions to ask you. You were asked several times about the set-asides for women. And the country, we put out about $400 billion worth of contracts to various businesses. And I'm wondering whether the set-aside for women-owned small businesses, which is 5% of this $400 billion, is part of the challenge for women-owned businesses that they do not provide the kinds of goods or services that the government wants to contract for?
That's a good question. I've not done that kind of analysis, but I think that is a really good question to raise, one I will look into, and I'll get back to you.
Could you please, because I know that a lot of small businesses that I've encountered, they work really hard, but I think they do not produce things that the government wants. I mean, I love chocolates and cupcakes, but...
But I can tell you, I have been to a couple of women-owned businesses that produce manufacturing parts, and supply for, the larger prime contracts. Those women it is unbelievable how they run and operate their businesses.
So as you expand your outreach to rural areas, and especially to women in these rural areas, I think it would be helpful to encourage them to perhaps get into those kinds of goods or services that can enable them to vie for the $400 billion in contracts. I also had discussed with you last time, and I am running out of time, the importance of supporting the ability of Native Hawaiian-owned businesses or NHOs in Hawaii or Native Alaska Natives, American Indians. You have a Native American outreach program. And I'd like to make sure that you are doing everything you can to continue to enable these minority-owned businesses, these very particular minority-owned businesses, to be able to successfully be able to get government contracts.
I think under my tenure so far, I think we've made a good start. Just recently, we had a team on the ground with outreach, to the Hawaiian Native Americans to look and to see what if there were issues, if there was help we could do, et cetera. And so it has been certainly an instruction from me that we must do more of that outreach. And I had a great time when I was in Hawaii. Was it the Dawson? Mm-hmm. The Dawson family, their whole business, and oh my goodness, they're involved in contracting, and they bring so many businesses in and support so many businesses. So I talked to them about how we could even be more helpful and work more closely with them, because they seem to have such a great footprint. So I'll look forward to continuing that as well.
Thank you. And Mr. Chairman, just one more thing. I want to pitch Hawaii on the Hill, because Hawaii on the Hill is an opportunity for Hawaii small businesses to bring their products and services to Hawaii. And they come the farthest to highlight their products and services. And I would like to extend to you as the SBA administrator to participate in the policy summit portion, because that is an opportunity for Hawaii small businesses to interact with leaders like you who will be making decisions that will impact their businesses.
Is it called Hawaii on the Hill?
Hawaii on the Hill.
When is it?
It's a really hot ticket. Truly, as the people stand in line to get in.
Could I get an inside? Could I get a little inside access? Okay, great. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.